The identical ads went after leftists and so-called Antifa, or anti-fascist groups, that prominently featured an inverted red triangle outlined in black, a symbol that Nazi German authorities used during World War II to identify political dissenters who were incarcerated in concentration camps. Other versions of the ad that are visible in Facebook's ad library use identical language and alternative clip art, such as exclamation points and stop signs. In a statement, Trump campaign spokesperson Tim Murtaugh defended the use of the Nazi symbol by claiming that it's an emoji that's widely used by activists opposed to fascism. The Vallejo Police Department was warned by rushing to purchase a cell site simulator without first crafting a use policy. The agency sidestepped its legal duty to transparency. Now, Oakland Privacy has filed a first-of-its-kind suit to ensure the public has a say in how such controversial surveillance technology is deployed in their communities. Activist Post reports that cell site simulators are devices that police use to gather information from cell phones, typically to locate, identify, and track people. Also known as IMSI catchers, the devices pretend to be cell phone towers in order to trick phones into connecting to them. The technology is so controversial that in 2015, the California legislature stepped in and passed Senate Bill 741, a law that ensures a police department cannot acquire cell site simulator usage without a city council first approving a detailed policy. In mid-March, amid COVID-19 shelter-in-place orders, the Vallejo City Council approved a $766,000 purchase of a cell site simulator manufactured by KeyW. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Today's most popular video games take place in dangerous post-apocalyptic landscapes. But are these games doing enough to prepare our kids for the actual post-apocalyptic future we will all soon face?
Well, I think these games are quite effective at teaching our kids skills like finding shotgun ammo and leading elite squads of super soldiers.
But these aren't the advanced skills that they're going to need. They're going to need the more practical skills like how to find drinking water by collecting the morning dew in human skulls.
Or how to deal with depression when the sun is blocked out for 500 years by a cloud of radioactive dust.
Absolutely. Now, that's the type of knowledge these kids are going to need when their world has been turned into a brutal hellscape.
But these kids said that they know how to find items to barter at weapon shops and how to use medicine packs to heal zombie bites.
The games make it all seem deceptively simple. I mean, in the future, a kid's not going to be able to kill a 6-foot-long irradiated beetle just by pressing a few buttons, and he's going to have to get down there with an axe and hack and hack and hack.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live. It is Free Talk Live, and you are free to call in and talk live here on the airwaves. It is Mark with you,
Peakless Mountaineer,
and Melanie.
The number 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom. Or you can use the Discord lines. Go to discord.freetalklive.com. Sign up for the account there, and then you can call in and sound great, because the people who call in from there do sound good. It's much better. The voice over IP technology is just a lot better, and you can take advantage of it here. I think this is the only commercial radio program that really lets you do that. The number, 855-450-3733. Melanie, it's Father's Day.
Yes.
And you've got some kind of article, blog post, that kind of thing about fathers?
Yeah, so it's from MU, which as far as I can tell, is Maine University. It appears to be a literature review. I'm not entirely sure. But it was written by Jeffrey and Wilcox Bradford, and they are sciencey people. So
okay.
So it's fathers and their impact on children's well-being. A noted sociologist, Dr. David is one of the pioneers of the relatively young field of research into fathers and fatherhood.
Why is this a young area of research?
So, according to at least Google Scholar, there's tons and tons of research on the effects of absent fathers and not a whole lot on the effects of actually having one.
I would think that the effects of absent fathers is generally quantified in the negative, right? Like, I mean,
oh yeah,
that doesn't sound like a good thing.
Well, and I think that's the difference is we're used to originally having fathers present in the home, and that's why the absence was the aberration, so we studied the aberration.
Well, and to be fair, you don't have a lot of studies on people without heart disease, people without cancer, like people without X disease, that you use them as a control in a study about the disease, but I mean, to be fair, that is typically how we do studies.
I guess you're right.
Like if there was a study on people who have never had the cold.
I mean, that would be really interesting, but it's just not how that usually happens.
But yeah, because most people haven't had heart disease, haven't had any given, well, in this case, a problem. So you go based on what the ordinary thing is to say, okay, variations on what you expect do this.
It's also probably a lot easier to get a hold of kids who don't have dads to do studies on them. You're probably paying the moms or pressuring them through various benefit agencies, and it's probably really easy to get a hold of those kids. Not so much, I would imagine, kids of intact families.
So tell me, what are these? What are the studies finding about fathers, homes with fathers? This radical notion.
Yeah, so it's better emotional regulation, better academic results, better cognitive ability, although I'm going to go ahead and admit that might have a causation issue.
Like?
So that the kids who have greater cognitive ability just might be correlated rather than caused by those that are in homes with fathers.
Yeah, so an intelligent mom is more likely to have more intelligent kids. She's also more likely to, not go out and get knocked up.
And they have found a very strong link, not an entire link, but a very strong link of genetics for intelligence.
Got it. Yes. Yeah. Genetics and intelligence. I know people don't want to think they're linked, but they're linked. I'll bet you Albert Einstein's parents weren't a couple of idiots.
They're also less likely to be abused for various reasons. Although in the U.S., it's just more of a spectrum than a question. Are you abused? But there is that.
Well, sounds like you're against spanking.
Yeah, hitting people is bad in general.
Even if it's on the tush and with your hand open-handed.
I tend to think, as a parent, that I know that there's studies that link spanking to lower IQs.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that, this really is correlative data to me, because I'm pretty sure that people touching people on the bottom doesn't cause their IQ to go down. So,
so the thing with that, a lot of it really has to do with the way that your body responds to a dangerous environment.
It's terror.
Right. So the more cortisol levels have a tendency when you're developing to kill your neurons, both in utero and after birth.
Because your body and your brain says, this is an environment where the most important thing I'm going to have to do is run away and kill things. And so it develops your body to run away and kill things.
Right. So they find similar problems with kids in war environments and things like that.
Yeah.
So what it says to me is that the problem is terror. And I think that it is possible to use corporal punishment in a home. Not that I'm recommending it. I'm just saying, is it possible to use corporal punishment without the child being terrorized? And I think the answer to that could be yes. Do some people use corporal punishment way too much and terrorize their children? Sure.
What is even the purpose of hitting somebody? If
that's a different question.
Both not, and it's obviously not defensive, and it's not acting as a deterrent, because if you're not scaring them of it, then it's not acting a deterrent. So what would even be the point? At that point, you're just being weird.
Okay, so consequences to an action is different than terrorizing people, right? Like, so scared of something happening. Like, I don't jump off of bridges because I am scared of the result. I'm not terrorized by the notion. I do not have, I don't know, what is it when you stand on top of tall
bridges don't
things?
throw you off of themselves whenever they get mad at you.
Sure.
That's not how bridges operate.
So good parenting could be, good parenting is parenting where the kid knows what the consequences of actions are. That could include corporal punishment. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and there's a difference between this is what my action does and this is what my action causes someone else to do.
Sure.
And I mean, if someone 4 times your size picked you up and slapped you on the butt, you'd probably be pretty scared.
Well, you'd be scared that could happen again. Like if you say, okay, so you may not, and I don't have a circumstance to tell you about because I've never used corporal punishment on my son.
I think that's kind of indicative of what is reasonable.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are people out there that would argue that no punishment is acceptable. Simply none. Like they don't draw the line at corporal punishment.
Those people, from talking to them, would define punishment differently than maybe it's used in common usage.
Okay.
Well,
so they use something called natural consequences.
If you mean,
hold on,
if by punishment you mean like we don't get to do your favorite thing, we don't get to have your favorite meal, go to the park, things that you like, that is a form of punishment. I mean, there's a difference between positive and negative punishment and positive and negative reward. But
what about timeouts? That would be a negative punishment, right?
Yeah, and a less terrifying one by far.
Certainly, but. And you know the system we used for timeouts, and we haven't used them in many years. I think the last time we used it.
Well, I would hope not, because he's what, like 12?
He's 12, right? But the system was a minute for every year of age. So I recall the last one he was 4 years old, and he had just gotten a bicycle that he wanted very badly to show his friends who I had working on the roof of a shed with giant pieces of sheet metal, for a metal roof. And I made it very clear to him multiple times he may not be where he was with his bicycle, because if a giant piece of metal fell, it would cleave him in half. This did not deter him because he didn't understand what being cleaved in half really meant. And, kill you, any of these terminology, this wasn't working. And I, said, if you don't get out of there right now, you're going into timeout. And mind you, this was 8 years ago. And he didn't, and he did. And he was very upset about the entire notion. He's probably only went into timeout a dozen times in his life. But that's my same point about corporal punishment, is that if a child, 12 years old, had received corporal punishment over 12 times in the course of their life, they're probably not terrorized by it. That's what my point is. However, if you use spanking on your kid every day, well, yeah, maybe that's it. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. Anarcho Vegas 2020 is a conference about changing the world through personal actualization and creation through markets. Get inspired to better yourself and better the world. Speakers include Jim Bell, Larkin Rose, Abbins O'Brien, G. Edward Griffin, Walter Block, Amanda Rockwitz, Ernie Hancock, and more. Get your tickets for just $20.20 at anarchovegas.com and use code FTL to save 10% off VIP tickets. July 19th, join Free Talk Live for anarchovegas.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
Who told you you can go this way? You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me.
Well, I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't going to make it.
Wait a minute.
Holy crap.
Whoa. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable! Why are you running from me? Because you scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about what you want to talk about. But today is Father's Day, so we're talking about dads. It's Mark with you.
Peakless Mountaineer.
And Melanie.
The number 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. And Melanie, before we go on with your article about dads, and what was the positivity of having fathers in the home? It was...
So, better emotional regulation, less abuse, better academic outcomes, and the best one, the one I'm going to dispute, higher IQ.
And you're disputing that it's higher IQ because
well, you're not disputing
would
that
cause
that's
fathers in the home.
Right, you're not disputing that that's the case, just which came first.
It's definitely correlated, yeah.
It's correlated. All right, there you go. So, let's go to Robert calling in from South Carolina first. Robert, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hello?
Hello, Robert.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I got
sir.
you.
I was thinking to myself, with regard to the way in which a father should deal with his children, or the way a government should deal with the people for whom it's working, is as follows: the person should always think about achieving a variable ratio positive reinforcement schedule. In other words, the father and the government should both lead by rewarding the people or the child for doing the right thing, and kind of ignoring, to the extent that that's possible, the wrong thing. If you pay attention to the wrong thing by slapping the kid around, the kid in a kind of way is getting a little bit of a reinforcement for doing that by getting the attention of the parent. Even though it's very negative, what he really wants is attention, because that's that he finds reinforcing. So hitting the kid actually only rewards the father in a kind of backhanded way, because he's getting he's feeling the contact with his child by hitting the child, so he's being reinforced by that in a negative kind of a way. But he should understand that the way you should do it is to reward the kid for doing the right by giving him some little thing that he finds rewarding. Like maybe it's a pat on the shoulder. Good boy. You did the right thing. That was phenomenal. Just look at how much success you've had. You know, when I was a child, occasionally I was half Jewish and half Christian, and I used to go to compare the Catholic Church with the synagogue. And the synagogue was used exactly the philosophy. Everybody was complimenting on each other of what a great job they did during the week and how phenomenal business deals. Whereas the Catholic Church before 1965 was the fear of God, you know, and the priest, he had a public address system, and it was a CD system, and sometimes occasionally there would be voices coming in from the outside, and he would attribute that to the devil. The devil is in control, and he would reprimand the devil in front of all the people, and it was just so negative.
Really?
And that
doesn't sound.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like my thought of a Catholic church. I would think of that as a more fundamentalist thing, reprimanding the devil or whatever in the middle of the service. But, I mean, I guess if I was thinking about that, neither the synagogues nor the churches right now are exactly adding members. It's only these big mega churches with these charismatic preachers that really seem to be adding anybody.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, the mega churches, if you take a look at the really successful ones, they're using a variable ratio reinforcement schedule. They're saying,
what do you think that phrase means?
That means that you reinforce the person for not everything that they do that's great, but just first the first thing, and then maybe the next time the third thing.
Like a slot machine.
It's a slot machine. It's a way to create an addiction.
Yeah, and you're trying to addict the child to good behavior.
Exactly.
Well, an addiction is not healthy regardless of what the object of it is. It's a way to screw up your serotonin levels is what it is at base.
Well, I mean, if you're going to use addiction for this, I mean, I'm
addicted
to walking upright to get from point A to point B.
But you're not. But that's not a type of. That's not like a type of a way to create an addiction. Like a variable reward system is a type of a way to create an addiction. It's how creators of products will create their products to create that so that people become addicted to them. It's what happens when you do heroin.
You want to have people become addicted to success, addicted to doing the right thing, addicted to do things that are consistent.
You really don't, because then they're still unhealthy. You want people to be good people and do the right thing.
Well, so I mean, part of the whole addiction thing is how your brain rewards you for a set of behavior. If your dopamine system says, "Okay, keep doing this," reinforces these pathways in your brain so that you keep doing that behavior. That's exactly what you want for good behavior.
It's really not, because then it doesn't stay at a baseline, which is why it's an addiction and not just a physiological drive.
So they'll do more good things?
You'll need more rewards.
Otherwise, I don't know. I mean, it's just
you're screwing up your serotonin balance.
Well, that's actually the thing about
a
variable reinforcement. So if you do every single time, so like
when
a child is very, very young,
something.
you reward them as often as possible for the behavior you like when they're learning to walk and things like that. But as they get older, you spend less and less time with them, and it becomes more of a variable rate.
But that's not a variable rate reward system, though. That's
whether or not you will notice, whether or not you'll be around. Those are things that vary the rate of.
But it's not
reward.
like a random chance on a given day or week at the same age you'll either get nothing or something small or something. It's not like, oh well, at the age of 10, at random, I either reward you with nothing, a candy bar, or a pony. Like, that would be a variable reward
That's not
ratio.
Rate. That's not rate. He's saying variable rate. So, like, clasp on the shoulder and saying "good job" is a reward. Now, if you do that every single time for a behavior, it's going to encode that quickly, but it's going to have a short-term effect. Now, if you do that at like, maybe you'll do that once today and twice tomorrow for the same behavior.
The system that you're describing is what is used in Candy Crush, slot machines, and to some extent heroin.
Well, right. It's something that can be used for good or bad.
It's an inherently bad system.
Let's leave it at that. Robert, where are you going with this?
I agree with everything that the gentleman said. What I'm going with this is our society, unfortunately, is a neglected society. We have too many people running around without these schedules in the background. The government really doesn't pay attention to us. For example, right now, the most important thing that the president is doing really great things, but it's not trickling down to the people, because you call up the South Carolina Department of Employment and Workforce, which is our employment agency, and they'll put you on the line. You'll have a choice of number one or number two. Number two is the Work Intermediation Department. In other words, where they have you come in and talk to you about different job possibilities. They're completely closed down. They had 45 people working there. Now they have 450 people working there, and all 450 people are trying to get money to the people who are claiming unemployment compensation insurance. And there's nobody helping people who want to get jobs. It's completely closed by telephone and also for walk-ins. And some people are not good at marketing themselves. They can't sell themselves. How are they? They're people maybe who are doing kinds of jobs where they're doing maintenance or something like that. Those people who do maintenance and who do computer kinds of things, they're not people kind of people in a lot of cases. They're machine.
It must be a lot different around America right now than my experience here in New Hampshire, where I see signs up for advertising $18 an hour warehouse jobs and all kinds of things that are going on. But I don't know. The number 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live.
Got shaving irritation? Shave Secret shaving oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hair, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts? Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils plus a hint of menthol was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine Exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. Use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever is on your mind. It is Mark with you.
Peakless Mountaineer.
And Melanie.
That is Peakless, a mountaineer without a peak. Is that right?
That's right.
Where'd you get that from?
Well, it's the opposite of a bottomless pit is a peakless mountain. And I'm on the way up.
There we go. Let me tell you about the AnyPay Ambassador Program. So if you're familiar with cryptocurrency, if you want to see cryptocurrency adoption happen around the world, you might want to check out the AnyPay Ambassador Program, because what they did was they incentivized people to go out into their communities and find businesses that will accept cryptocurrency and onboard them, help them out, get them that first wallet and make everything happen for them. If you're interested in being compensated for bringing businesses in your area on board with cryptocurrency, compensated in many cases quite well, go to anypayinc.com. That's anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com. So, Melanie, we're talking about apparently there weren't a lot of studies on homes with fathers, just studies on homes without them. But you would think that a study on a home without a father would compare those homes to, I don't know, homes with fathers. So please go on with the study here.
Yeah, so then it says, fathers have a direct impact on the well-being of their children. It is important for professionals to work with, I don't know about that. To work with fathers, especially in difficult, emotionally charged areas in which CPS, we don't like them.
I wonder how many families that CPS deals with actually have fathers in them.
So I did want to mention, I thought it was interesting that our last caller brought up that, fathers and the government should act like this. And it's interesting because we're automatically put in a situation where the, apparent legitimate authority is a government figure when we go to school.
They use terms like fatherland and motherland to describe the place you're from. Now, the government often inserts itself into this. Somehow they represent the land, right? When you say the United States of America, you could be referring to a variety of things. You could be, referring to the amber waves of grain, the purple mountains' majesty, the sea to shining sea aspect, meaning, in fact, the land. And America is blessed, the United States is blessed with this, big, expansive, wonderful nation. You could be referring to the people of the United States, and they are the ones that, over the course of close to 250 years now, managed to make the nation the premier nation in the world. Okay? You could be referring to the government of that country, and oftentimes the government would like to throw the mantle of the land and the mantle of the people onto themselves, because those things have been pretty successful, at least in the United States. But usually, everywhere world round, the government refers to the most successful band of liars and thieves, a parent.
Well, and that's usually what we're referring to if I say, okay, China did this or Bolivia did that. I'm usually referring to the government.
Right.
I mean, I'm not obviously the land didn't, pick itself up and do these actions. And most of the time it's not even the people that did them, it's their leadership.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of countries don't even have the veneer of democracy, which isn't even people doing anything either.
Right.
I'm also not convinced it exists on the federal level, but that's a whole separate issue.
Yeah,
there's no evidence of it.
Yeah, so like Saudi Arabia did this. I don't mean the people of Saudi Arabia. I mean this particular
the 10 guys
family.
at the top with bombs. That's what everyone's always talking about, even if they will argue otherwise.
Right, and oftentimes people refer to their own nation in the familiar with the, the people and that sort of thing.
We did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went into Iraq. Really? You did? I did? Who did? Who was this?
Yeah, well, what I'm thinking is say the Pledge of Allegiance, right? If you say that, I've got a problem with the Pledge of Allegiance or whatever the case, or the Star Spangled Banner, Kavanaugh comes to mind. Or not, what's the? I get the name wrong. Kaepernick. Kaepernick comes to mind. What you'll get is the flag represents the people, and okay, the flag represents the people.
And conveniently enough, so do governments in democratic nations.
So they claim.
Handy.
Flags have traditionally been banners of war, and wars aren't fought by people as much as they're fought by governments, and people are incentivizing them. So it's all this mishmash.
And I would be willing to believe that if the people who said that the flag represents the people would object when the government uses it to represent itself. But I have never seen that happen, not once. So I'm going to go ahead and think that they're not telling the truth when they tell me that to them it represents people.
Well, and you brought up the motherland thing too, and occasionally it's fatherland. The only one I can think of is Germany.
Germany really like the fatherland thing.
Yeah, it's really rare to see fatherland. You see motherland all the time because what are you going to defend with your life and blood? Your mother.
Makes some sense.
That's kind of weird, but.
Well, I mean, there's a reason that jokes about someone's mother are very offensive. Like that's a soft spot for people. So they tap into that, natural desire to protect your own family and say, okay, well, that's us now.
Yeah, but you don't want your kids defending you. I mean, not like physically.
Sure you do.
If you get older, I suppose.
Exactly. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, mostly it matters when you become an adult. And as you become an adult, your mother tends to be frail, and so you become more protective.
Yeah, I think that the government, when I say the government, the criminal gang that parades around as your surrogate family, it's despicable, frankly, and not surprising when you. Now, I mean, we live in a world where the state is supposed to take care of your medical. It's supposed to take care of your education. It's supposed to take care of everything about you. I mean, how could you do anything but compare that to parents? I mean, that's what parents do to incompetent children.
I mean, if you have really bad parents, I guess they treat you like the government, or treat you like the government treats you. But
well, the idea is that you get, at some point, you're out on your own, taking care of yourself. Good parents, hopefully, a good father has made it so that you can take care of yourself. And
I'd say that's the defining line right there. I mean, the father that wants you to become capable, to find your own voice and your own place in the world, that's the defining line of what a good father versus a tyrannical father is.
So now we have gotten into my radical notion on age of consent. I know, libertarians talking about age of consent. If you can't, my contention is that you are an adult when you can take care of yourself. Well, the evidence that you can take care of yourself. Now, certainly not the only evidence, but the evidence that often is the case in America is that you live on your own somehow. Maybe you've got roommates, maybe you're whatever, but that therefore, if somebody's able to move out on their own at 16, fine. They're able to make decisions for themselves. They're able to pay their bills. They're able to do things. Fine. Age of consent.
Well,
if they can't do it,
it's illegal for them to move out.
In some states, yes. Some states, no. New Hampshire doesn't have any real rules on that, but it's hard to find an apartment. But you may be able to find a roommate. On the other hand, if you're 28 and haven't done it, well, maybe your parents' opinion on whether or not you should be out gallivanting around is relevant.
Well, but that's between you and them. It's still not rape if someone sleeps with a 28-year-old, regardless of if they knew the situation or not, who is still financially dependent on their parents just because they're lazy.
It's more of a should in my case. Like, you shouldn't be out there participating in the activity that results in kids.
Risking incurring obligations that you can't satisfy, and you obviously can't take care of a kid if you can't even take care of yourself.
We agree.
Yeah, caring for yourself is proof of moral agency, but not caring for yourself isn't proof that you don't have it.
Got it. I'll think about that. 855, what do you think? 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Father's Day on Free Talk Live. 855-450-3733.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Now, there is Reveal. Beverly Hills celebrity dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman took nearly a decade to develop Reveal from natural botanicals to return to a full-body head of hair. Reveal for men and women with a 30-day money-back guarantee at gcnlife.com or toll-free 844-443-6637. 844-443-6637. Reveal at gcnlife.com.
We all need to do our part.
And show that we care.
Look, man.
I wear a mask to protect you.
You wear a mask to protect me.
Let's all wear a mask to stop the spread of coronavirus and save lives.
Good reasons for the public and business owners to wear and offer face masks. But not just any mask. Cheap doesn't mean protection. Sunny-bay.com has the best value of high-quality N95 or disposable face masks anywhere. Get disposable Level 1 face masks now, a 20-pack starting at only $12. Or a 10-pack of N95 respirator masks is only $34. Plus, get free shipping on all orders over $35. Choose your level of protection at sunny-bay.com. Prices are low, but supplies are limited. Get details and order at sunny-bay.com, a Biomed DB design company. Go to sunny-bay.com for disposable or N95 face masks. Ask about volume discounts available for all businesses. Just click sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com.
Do the letters IRS give you anxiety? I'm Dan Pilla. I've defended people from the IRS for more than 40 years. My book, How to Get Tax Amnesty, created the tax resolution industry and is responsible for helping hundreds of thousands of people. It can help you too. If you're a non-filer or facing IRS enforcement right now, your case is unique. You need real help, not cookie-cutter advice. My clients get my personal attention. Buy my book at danpilla.com and get a free consultation directly with me. That's danpilla.com. Let's start solving your tax problem right now.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live at Live Sunday edition. It's Mark with you.
Peakless Mountaineer.
And Melanie.
Just so you know, it doesn't matter when you're listening to Free Talk Live. We are on the air 7 days a week from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Well, I say we're live every day, but in fact, we are headed off to the Porcupine Freedom Festival come Tuesday. So the schedule is that Ian will head up on Monday. I will run the show tomorrow on a day that I don't normally run the show, which is fine. I mean, no big deal. But then they will be up there, and they will not be taking calls. You will still be able to listen, of course. The show will air from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. That's when we'll send it out. Some stations carry it at different times. And you could, I mean, basically, you can listen like you normally do. You can't call in, for 2 weeks. And then after that, we're back in studio, and, we're going to be doing it again. So
the sacrifices you make to go out to the middle of the woods.
Indeed. Right. You just can't broadcast from there. If you want, however, if you think in the next 2 weeks there's going to be something you want to talk about, now's the time to call 855-450-3733. Because it's Father's Day, we've been talking about, this blog post on some studies surrounding fatherhood and families with fathers in them. So I think it's a good day to talk about that.
And I wanted to make a note on the first thing you mentioned, the ability to deal with your emotions. And that does tend to show up as a difference in parenting styles on average between mothers and fathers. Mothers have a tendency to sort of comfort the child and make them okay when they feel upset by something, whereas fathers have a tendency to more encourage them to cope with those bad emotions.
Yeah, I wonder why that is necessarily. Is it just that? I mean, I believe that to be 100% true. At least that's how it is for me.
Well, part of it's exploration. So, like, if you explore too much, well, then the world is too unknown, and you just can't cope with it, and you can't bring it into a workable framework. But if you spend too much time where things are familiar, then you don't learn anything new. So that tends to be, mom is the known place. Well, I at least spent 9 months there, so I know that place pretty well.
Yep.
And dad tends to be the, I work outside and I'm on the edge of whatever our world is where things are a little bit more unknown. So it's the encouragement to go explore that.
Yeah, I'm much more likely to send Jack out to explore the world on his own than my wife is or was. And she's certainly coming around, wants to see a 12-year-old out doing things like that. But it took a little longer, and
we don't see it as easily for whatever reason.
Being women?
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't know why. Like, Lysander has been crawling and sitting up for the past, 6 months. And it was like last week that I was like, and at first they're kind of wobbly, so you can't really sit them necessarily and just walk off. But it was like 2 weeks ago where I was like, oh yeah, I don't have to actually bring your whole car seat in and put it in the basket. I can just sit you in this seat in the cart because you can actually sit up. That didn't occur to me for no apparent reason. And I am not a person who likes to hide things from myself. That doesn't mean I never do. That's still there. But yeah, that was way too long to just not realize that. And I don't think Bob would have had that problem.
I think that I've heard so many different things about households with fathers versus households without, and it seems like the effects tend to be largely positive. Now, if you watch Hollywood movies, in many cases you'll find, in fact, the birth father portrayed as this lout or whatever the case may be. But the evidence seems to be that households with dads in them just the results seem to be a lot better. And so, on Father's Day, I'd say thanks, dads, the ones that are doing their best out there. And you can't always be the dad in the house. It isn't always the option.
Well, you can pretty much pick one or the other at a given time. Either you're the one that's soothing the child and making them comfortable and healing them from the scrapes and scratches of the world, or you're the one that's not doing that and sort of encouraging them to go out there and get those scrapes and scratches.
I think that it's a balancing act. You gotta sometimes you gotta do it and sometimes you don't.
And so we can overcome our biology to some extent. Because that's more difficult to consciously try to override those systems, it's going to be less effective. If you try to, and I don't know, maybe like some gay people have that, which is why their families also work out. But if you're talking about hetero couples or hetero not anymore couples, I think that's going to be less effective because you're trying to override what's already subconsciously inherently there.
Does the article have anything more to say about dads and the benefits thereof?
I mean, that was just a listing of the benefits, and it goes into some of why that is.
Well, tell me.
Yeah, so fathers are more than just second adults in the home, he says. Adult fathers bring positive benefits to their children that no other person is likely to bring. One of the most important influences a father can have on his child is indirect. Fathers influence their children in large part through the quality of their relationship with the mother of their children. A father who has a good relationship with the mother of their children this print is really tiny, is more likely to be involved and to spend time with their children and to have children who are psychologically and emotionally healthier. Similarly, a mother who feels less affirmed by her children's father and who enjoys the benefits of a happy relationship is more likely to be a good mother. Indeed, the quality of the relationship affects the parenting behavior of both parents. They are more responsive, affectionate, and confident with their infants, more self-controlled in dealing with defiant toddlers, and better confidants for teenagers seeking advice and emotional supports.
Yeah, I think that, again, I mean, I'm always reminded of the statement that was made to me. Yeah, it's the most important decision in your life you're going to make.
Without a doubt.
It's just it.
Pick the wrong job, pick the wrong house. You can fix that later.
Yeah. And you can fix the pick the wrong spouse thing. It's just costly and painful.
And there's a time limit.
Well, you kind of you can, and then now you're divorced, and even if you don't have kids yet, you're trying to sell yourself as a person who sold themselves wrong in the past. That's going to limit your options.
It limits options? I mean, does anybody date based on the fact that the person that they're dating has been divorced?
Well, I mean, if you're 20, if you're 20, you have a lot more options open to you than when you're 30. So if you spend however long figuring out whether or not this relationship works and then it crashing and then going through divorce court, then you're going to have a lot harder of a chance getting a good mate the second time around.
Well, yeah, because you're looking at, I haven't surveyed people about what they look at negatively, but I mean, I looked at that negatively because you're saying, hi, the only thing that you want out of me is to make sure that I'm a good person to marry, and it's the thing that I messed up in the past. I don't see how that's not a mark against you.
Huh. I dated for some time before I met my wife, and I wouldn't have thought, divorce wouldn't have mattered to me if somebody was in a long-term relationship and that broke up, whether they were divorced or not. Obviously, if they had kids, would have been, that's something I thought about.
Yeah, that was just no, but...
Well, it wasn't
depends.
no,
if you're dating and you're 37, you have less options inherently, and so maybe that's less of a red mark. If you're dating and you're 22, there's no reason you need to date somebody who's divorced.
Well, and part of it is if you're divorced, were they actually a good person? Now, if they were, you ran them off. Have you changed has something catalyzed a change since then? And if they weren't a good person, then you might not be the best judge of character. So either way, you've got kind of a mark against you.
Yeah, because you want me to marry you, but you've been willing to dissolve a marriage in the past. You're going to have some explaining to do. No, that can be redeemed, right? Just because it's a red mark. I've known people who, when they were really young, they were, really not sober and got married in a really bad relationship and then got divorced. And then 10 years passed and they've, went back to school and got sober and got a job and, set their life up and everything you would have to do. And then 10, 15 years later, it's like, I wouldn't, like, yeah, you're going to have to explain that, but it's something you can recover from. But if there's you who's recovered from that, some people who've done it and not recovered and not changed in any way, and then some people who've never had that problem before, like, that's
all
still...
things being equal, someone who's never been married is going to be more desirable.
I guess. I mean, I maybe to you, I just never really thought of it that way. To me, it's like the right person isn't the right person for everybody. It's the right person for some people. And
that's why we date and court and figure out whether you actually want to marry them or not.
Right. So
but they were wrong before. Why? Like, you're entering into a contract with them, and they were wrong before.
Right. What changed?
I've been wrong so many times. The number 855-450-3733 here on Free Talk Live.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for people to use it for everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that is as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,726, silver at $17.54, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,400. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, last week in Missouri, a 25-year-old woman named Hannah Pfizer was shot and killed by an officer with the Pettis County Sheriff's Office during a routine traffic stop. Pfizer was reportedly pulled over because she was speeding and passed through a red light. The officer, who has not been named, claimed that she threatened to shoot him, but no gun was found in the vehicle. The Missouri State Highway Patrol is now working the case, claiming to be an impartial outside agency. In an initial statement from the Highway Patrol, they referred to Pfizer as a suspect instead of a victim, and accused her of threatening to shoot the deputy. However, she did not actually have a gun on her, and there is no footage from a dash cam or body cam that would corroborate the officer's story. Family and friends say she was on her way to work, and that she was a friendly person who never carried weapons. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. In a seeming reversal on Facebook's position that it would not remove political speech, the social media giant removed 88 ads on Thursday, posted by the accounts of President Donald Trump, Vice President Mike Pence, and the Trump campaign on the grounds that they violated company policies against organized hate. The identical ads went after leftists and so-called Antifa, or anti-fascist groups, that prominently featured an inverted red triangle outlined in black, a symbol that Nazi German authorities used during World War II to identify political dissenters who were incarcerated in concentration camps. Other versions of the ad that are visible in Facebook's ad library use identical language and alternative clip art, such as exclamation points and stop signs. In a statement, Trump campaign spokesperson Tim Murtaugh defended the use of the Nazi symbol by claiming that it's an emoji that's widely used by activists opposed to fascism. The Vallejo Police Department was warned by rushing to purchase a cell site simulator without first crafting a use policy. The agency sidestepped its legal duty to transparency. Now, Oakland Privacy has filed a first-of-its-kind suit to ensure the public has a say in how such controversial surveillance technology is deployed in their communities. Activist Post reports that cell site simulators are devices that police use to gather information from cell phones, typically to locate, identify, and track people. Also known as IMSI catchers, the devices pretend to be cell phone towers in order to trick phones into connecting to them. The technology is so controversial that in 2015, the California legislature stepped in and passed Senate Bill 741, a law that ensures a police department cannot acquire cell site simulator usage without a city council first approving a detailed policy. In mid-March, amid COVID-19 shelter-in-place orders, the Vallejo City Council approved a $766,000 purchase of a cell site simulator manufactured by KeyW. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Despite being objectively awful people, newly engaged couple Ross Bird and Jessica Black want their upcoming wedding to really reflect their personalities.
We're pulling out all the stops to have a kind of wedding that just screams us.
Yeah.
We're going to have a bluegrass band playing 80s pop songs. Because Ross loves bluegrass, but I love 80s music.
And then at the end of the ceremony, this is great, we're going to pass out sparklers to all the guests.
Sources claim that a bunch of candles in mason jars and an Instagram photo booth will truly capture the essence of the insufferable pair.
We didn't want some big, stuffy ceremony.
Yeah,
It should feel more like a fun dance party
Yeah.
for our friends. You know?
Because the night's about us, yes, but I mean, it's also, about the people who make us, us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And those people love us exactly for our uniqueness.
Sources hoped with every fiber of their being that these two would be divorced within a year.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. You can call in and talk about, well, whatever you want to talk about here on this live edition of Free Talk Live. And we talked pretty much the last hour about dads and what how families can benefit, how kids benefit from having dads in the household. But one thing we're sort of all dealing with right now is this COVID thing. And I've been curious what the effects would be, because obviously when things change, and generally for the negative, you're going to see some people are sort of on the edge of suicide commit suicide. You're going to see people who are on the edge of alcoholism slip into alcoholism. You're going to see those alcoholics who are on the edge of child beating beat children or wives or whatever. You're going to see these unpleasant situations result in unpleasant things. And while we're worrying about whether or not somebody at a party is going to, be the patient zero that causes grandma to die earlier, because grandma's going to die. So are you. And that's the reality. We also, what the seen and the unseen of it is that when you lock people in their houses, it means they can't escape whatever their demons might be.
So last week I said that there was 70,000 deaths of despair since this had started, and you said that seems improbable, and I had that one a little wrong. So I've got this article from Forbes here. A projected 75,000 deaths of despair could result from coronavirus pandemic impact. And it goes everywhere from 28,000 to over 150,000, caused mostly by economic failure with massive unemployment, mandated social isolation for months and possible residual isolation for years, and uncertainty caused by the sudden emergency of a novel, previously unknown microbe.
Okay, so help me out with that. They're projecting an amount of people will die due to some bad thing. They're calling them deaths of despair.
Yeah, so deaths of despair, pretty much what you were talking about right there, especially higher rate of suicide, overdose of drugs, overdose of alcohol, all of those things.
Yeah, it's really weird having to explain to leftists who are in large part who is supporting the lockdown that poverty has negative externalities. Until 3 months ago, that was kind of their thing. There's a clip of Elizabeth Warren somewhere saying that, the tax cuts that the Republicans want to put through are blood money and will be paid for with American lives because they're going to have to cut programs. Not having resources, they're not wrong about the poverty equals bad equation. They're wrong about what you should do about that. It's just blatantly obvious that a lack of resources will lead to bad results.
So what you'll find is that Democrats want to blame Republicans for bad economies because for whatever reason the president is responsible for the economy. Now, when George Bush was in office, 6 of those 8 years, it was a Republican House, a Republican Senate, and a Republican White House. So hard to shed that one. However, Clinton gets a lot of credit for 1 year there wasn't a deficit. Now, Americans don't seem to know what the difference between a debt and a deficit is. It's just a deficit is a year that you add to the debt as opposed to subtracting from it. So, whoop-de-doo. Washington, D.C. was responsible for 1 year in the last 30.
Well, and that's part of the issue, too, is the perception of infinite resources. And most people tend to equate money with resources in their own minds. So since we can just print as much as we want and go into deeper and deeper debt, and obviously, as you pointed out, we're used to increasing that debt every single year and never actually paying it off, which makes you wonder what it is. Since
do they
debt
not
is what
acknowledge
you pay off.
inflation, though? Because that would seem contrary to that position.
Inflation is not something well known. I mean,
no, people think inflation means prices go up.
Okay, yeah, that is true.
Inflation is
if
inflation.
they know what it is at all.
Right. I think that, okay, so I would say that it's probably true. They don't know what inflation really is. If they do know what it is, they believe it to be prices going up, which is in fact a symptom of inflation rather than inflation itself. And this is one thing the economists that are on the Austrian side really get right, and is often obscured by the economists that sort of don't call themselves Austrians.
And that's one of those things that's especially pertinent as we get better and better technology, because if you keep prices exactly the same when we got so much technology that it was easier and easier to produce, you can't even see that change. That's a change that it would have been half the price to get milk, to get bread, to get eggs, to get all of these things. And instead of having that, we printed off so much money that it stays the exact same price.
Right, and that's basically it. Presumably, as time goes by, we're going to get better and better at bread making. There'll be new bread making technology out there, and that would then drive down the cost of loaves of bread. Now, maybe maybe people want to see consistent raises and this sorts of things. This is the trick of inflation is that humans like to have steady progress in a positive direction. Even people who are rotten employees want to get paid more and more as time goes by. Well, the nice thing about inflation, inflating the money supply, making money worth less and less over time, is it is easier to pay rotten employees more money.
Pay you more and you get less.
Right. Because, some people would say that, that employees are paying, that they're getting paid less than they were 20 or 30 years ago, or these sorts of things. And it's interesting to watch the economists argue over this. But median household income is going up. Still.
In nominal dollars or in actual
purchasing power.
Yeah, I believe that's in purchasing power. And I would have to, I wasn't prepared for that particular factoid, and I'd have to look it up during the break just to make sure that I've got it exactly right.
And one of the biggest issues of this is that people do not renegotiate their wages very often. I mean, it's hard to do. It's demanding. You kind of risk your profession at that point if you're going to renegotiate. So most people don't renegotiate very often. A lot of it's a job gets reevaluated on a 6-month or a yearly basis or what have you.
Well, and that's the purpose of doing that. The corporations have the 6-month and annual evaluations so that people won't ask for raises.
Right. So
is that the reason?
What other reason would it be?
It's a good tactic for that purpose, that's for sure.
Well, I don't have a lot of experience in this realm. So I spent, the last X number of years, like 15 years, working for myself. And if I wanted a raise, I needed to go out and get more advertisers for Free Talk Live. Prior to that, I worked as an ad salesperson in radio and print. And as a salesperson, you go out and you get more clients if you want to raise. So prior to that, as far as raises go, I can recall back in like sort of my teen years, as far as raises, and my boss gave me raises regularly. I never asked for them. The one time I asked was I was like 15 years old, and I had been getting paid in store credit to work at a comic book store and magazine and gaming and all that stuff, which is a great job for a teenager. And a 15-year-old generally doesn't have a job. But I was getting frustrated that I didn't have cash. I wanted cash. And I was so bad at sharing my emotions or whatever. I just sort of, wrote this sort of letter that I was like weeping as I handed over. And, she was ready to do this anyway to start paying me cash. But so I don't have a lot of experience.
Shows you how hard it can be to renegotiate even for a simple thing that they want to do.
Yeah. I just don't have any ideas in that area. I think when I'm dealing with people that I pay fairly, but what do they think? I don't know. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Anarcho Vegas 2020 is a conference about changing the world through personal actualization and creation through markets. Get inspired to better yourself and better the world. Speakers include Jim Bell, Larkin Rose, Avins O'Brien, G. Edward Griffin, Walter Block, Amanda Rockwitz, Ernie Hancock, and more. Get your tickets for just $20.20 at anarchovegas.com and use code FTL to save 10% off VIP tickets. July 19th, join Free Talk Live for anarchovegas.com.
When we adopted Buddy, who is a lab, we didn't know that he can't eat like a normal dog. He has to eat sitting up. So just put him down. His life expectancy maximum is 3 years. Well, he's 6 years old now, and I attribute most of that to Dinovite and a lot of love. DINOVITE.com. I heard about Dinovite on the radio and started mixing it in with his food, and it's changed everything. Dinovite is nutrition. Yes, he has a nice shiny coat. Yes, it helps with keeping a good, healthy weight on him. He's happy, he's healthy, and he's going to be with me for a long time because of Dinovite.
Dinovite for life.
We take him to the vet now, and they can't believe it. I love my dog. I want him happy and healthy, so I give him Dinovite.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dinovite from DINOVITE.com.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. It's Mark with you.
Peakless Mountaineer.
And Melanie.
The number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. And COVID-19 has changed a lot of things. The government's reaction to COVID-19 probably changed a lot more than we care to say, but one thing that appears to be going on, we know what's going on, is the Porcupine Freedom Festival and its sister event, Fork Fest. They're going on from June the 29th. Well, excuse me. Tomorrow is June the 22nd. It starts June the 22nd for Pork Fest. Then Fork Fest starts June the 29th, and then they all wrap up by June the 5th. And I'm not sure which one is going on at what time or anything like that. Believe me, there's a fun time had by all at Rogers Campground, the beautiful White Mountains of New Hampshire. If you want to find out more, go to porkfest.com, forkfest.party, and it's a great event and probably one of the few libertarian events that are going on this year, and Free Talk Live will be there starting the broadcast on Tuesday the 23rd. So, let's talk to
few events at all going on. libertarian or otherwise.
Very few. We will be going to Freedom Fest, which is happening. Oh, by the way, Freedom Fest had an email attack. I couldn't even believe it. This lame email went out that's sort of like, Freedom Fest is canceled. And then, but it didn't have any graphics or anything. It was really strange. And then Freedom Fest sent out an email right after that saying, ignore this, and it's going to be great.
I blame that on the FBI because the NSA would have graphics.
Could be.
Are
I
we
don't know.
outsourcing our trolling to bots? That's just bad craftsmanship.
Yeah, I think it might be. Let's go to Jerome calling in South Carolina. We will talk about these deaths of despair here coming up. Jerome, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, I just wanted to, the lady that's with you all tonight.
Melanie?
With the left. Yeah, Melanie. One of my best friends' girlfriend was me and Melanie a long time ago. She was from Utah. Anyway, when they talk about the left, do people on the right, I assume she's on the right. If she's not on the left, she has to be on the right.
Hold on a second. Melanie, are you on the left or the right?
If I have to choose between one of those two groups of people, I'll go hang out with the right. I'm an anarchist, so there's that.
Right. Well, I didn't want to cast aspersions on you. I'm glad you cleared that up. But do people on the right, they ever take blame for anything, man? I mean, you got Trump.
Oh, no, nobody does.
No, but there are more right-wing talk shows on the left wing, okay? And
I have no idea. I don't
listen
listen
to anything.
Political talk shows.
They never take blame for anything. Hey, all he did was get up and brag about the economy, and now he's still trying to brag. But guess what? There ain't nothing to brag about, man. And then he's telling people about cut back on the testing. Oh, so in other words, you want people to die, huh? You want people to walk around not knowing what their condition is. Did you hear about the comedian D.L. Hughley? Collapsed on stage.
Oh, my.
Okay?
No, I didn't know that.
The guy found out he's COVID-19 positive. He said he had no symptoms. He looked like he was dying on stage. They had to rush him to the hospital on stage. I mean, this guy says he cut back on the testing, and people are supposed to laugh about that. I don't find that funny at all. Okay?
I don't know why that would
funny.
Be a joke.
Well, I know that, Trump said something about cutting back on testing and then tried to walk it back by calling it a joke. I don't know whether it was a joke or not.
Trump said it was okay. Well, yeah, Trump's just insane, though, so... I mean,
well, you asked if they take responsibility for when they're wrong. I mean, how is that going to get them votes?
Exactly.
Left or right.
The other thing, well, hey, we're the only ones that lie all the time are the left. The right never lies, or at least, like I said, they never admit the lying. Okay.
Hey, Jerome, here's one. So I mean, the accusation is that people are partisans and that partisans can't see, the other side. Have you ever thought? What do you think the best thing about the people on the right is the terminology you're using at this time? So, what do you think the best thing about sort of the righties and their philosophy is?
Can you give me a couple of weeks and I'll call you back after I figure out how I'm about to answer that? Because as of right now, I can't see anything good about right-wing people. Okay. Oh, but by the way,
here, let me try. So, would you call me a righty?
I don't know you that well.
Well, you listen enough.
Look, I don't know you that well.
Okay.
Look, I'm trying to be friends with you. Okay.
I know, and hey, I think you're a good caller, Jerome. You're not going to get cut off. You don't have to be friends with me.
I vouch for Mark not being an extremist.
Okay. But the thing was with Barr and the attorneys that they fired. Didn't you hear that big bald-faced lie Trump said? He said he had nothing to do with it. And they're saying, oh, he tried for months to get this guy fired, and he's the one hired him. And not only that, the guy contributed to Trump's campaign. Well, hey, by the way, can you take that knife out your back now? Oh, okay? And then you got Barr. Oh, I can't wait to see him testify.
I think that one of the biggest indictments against the Trump administration is, in fact, how many people he's gone through. If he's supposed to be this great businessman, and that's the claim, right? Trump's a great businessman. But, well, that's the claim.
Lost $1 billion.
Right. Who knows? God knows.
He's great at filing bankruptcy is what he's great at.
But
that
he should be good.
Houses.
He should be good at hiring managers. And that's what a president's job is. You'd think he'd do better than that. You wouldn't think he'd be firing people all the time.
Well, I wouldn't, because he had businesses fail all the time.
So, I mean, I'm not looking for Biden. I'm not looking for Trump. I'm voting for George Jorgensen if I vote at all.
Did you hear what the reporter asked him? So why you keep calling these people wackos and crazies, but yet you keep hiring them? All he did was walk away.
This was the guy who said, I'm going to drain the swamp. And what's the first thing he does? Hire everyone who used to work there.
Right, indeed. It absolutely the truth. Thank you for the call, Jerome. Appreciate it. The number 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. And I do... Look, there's things about the Trump administration I like. He tends to seem to want to solve problems on an international scale. And I like my presidents to be focused outward, right? That's their job. They're the CEO of the nation. They should be paying attention to how the nation interacts with other nations. They shouldn't be internally focused. That's the job of, frankly, Congress. Congress makes the budget. Any issues that are going on with the economy should be addressed by Congress, the representatives of the people. Whereas the president is the commander-in-chief. The one thing that is clearly defined in the law is that he's the commander-in-chief of the Constitution. So I'm concerned about how does he interact with other countries, and by interact I mean who does he want to drop bombs on. And Trump doesn't seem to be that interested in dropping bombs comparatively.
It seems
unless we've already started.
It seems to me that he only bombs the places that they make him bomb. Obviously, I'm not privy to that, but that's what it seems like from the outside.
They do they?
Yes, they do.
The number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. The monetary evolution comes to Las Vegas. Crypto Vegas is a one-day event featuring some of the brightest and most innovative minds in blockchain technology. Juan Galt, Anastasia Sergeyevna, Lynn Ulbricht, Jim Bell, Elise Sam, Float CEO Kingsley Edwards, and more. Tickets start at $20.20, and you can save 10% on VIP tickets using code FTL at CryptoVegasConference.com. July 18th, join Free Talk Live at CryptoVegasConference.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Thank you, Jode. I appreciate you taking up this issue.
Berto, if a man ain't cooked crisp on the Hellfire Desert, ain't he ought to be left on his own?
Well, right, Jode. Immigrants are desperate for a better way of life.
We need the strongest of these crude backward browns to keep us all alive. I see the ones that can swim the Rio Grande, too. Berto, you swum that border river to get here, ain't you?
Jode, not all Mexicans came here by swimming the Rio Grande.
No. I got sympathy. I crossed Huron Lake in a barrel myself using hands as paddles. Lived off the carp. What jumped at me? Now, you swum that river, ain't you?
No, Jode, actually, I was born here.
What you know about hard work? Ain't never swum no river.
Many immigrants, they
I say you ain't never knowed a man till you seen his teeth. Show him your teeth. Too many teeth rotting out shows you're dishonest in the mind. You got strong manful teeth, Barto. I apologize.
This is the Onion News Network.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Excuse me, is this where I get a license to start a new business?
I wouldn't be hasty. You have to get a license to go out of business, too, you know.
Oh, well, look, I've invented this little anti-gravity machine, see?
Oh, is that why you're walking 2 inches above the floor?
Oh, yes, it's very comfortable. It saves on shoe leather.
Yeah, well, you have to fill out these forms and report to the Human Services Department of Manpower Orientation and register with the Fair Employment Practice Commission, the Wage and Hour Division of the Employment Standards Administration, the State Sales and Income Tax Division, the Internal Revenue Service, and the Social Security Administration of the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare, and, of course, OSHA.
OSHA? I thought that was a little town in Wisconsin.
You'll find out. Say, floating around like that could be dangerous. Have you checked with the Consumer Product Safety Commission?
Well, not yet.
Come to think of it, you actually are flying, aren't you? Look, you need to go over to the Federal Aviation Administration and the Transportation...
It's very hard to get anything done these days if you're in business, but free enterprise built this country. Think what could happen if we don't keep it free. A public service of this station and the Center for the Defense of Free Enterprise, Bellevue, Washington.
Besides, we just can't have people floating about unregulated, you know.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
Peakless Mountaineer.
And Melanie.
Speaking of events, we're going to Fork Fest here coming the day after tomorrow. Well, Ian's leaving tomorrow morning. But after that, we will be headed off to Crypto Vegas and Anarcho Vegas following Freedom Fest. It's a busy time for Free Talk Live over the next 4 weeks. So Crypto Vegas and Anarcho Vegas are on July the 18th and 19th. And these events are out in Las Vegas, you guessed. You can find their websites. I'll give them to you here in just a second. The cost is remarkably inexpensive at $20.20 per event. So that's as cheap as it gets for a libertarian event. And great folks going to be there. Juan Galt, Anastasia Sergun... Oh, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it. Sergunyena. Lynn Albrecht, Jim Bell, Elise Sam, Float CEO Kingsley Edwards. And then at Anarcho Vegas, it'll be Larkin Rose, Ovens O'Brien, G. Edward Griffin, Walter Block, and Amanda Rockwitz, Ernie Hancock, and more. And like I said, 2020, just go to the websites, anarchovegas.com and cryptovegasconference.com. Use code FTL. You get 10% off your VIP tickets. Now, they're not giving you 10% off the regular $20.20 tickets because, I mean, really, seriously, you need $2 off that price. It's July 18th and 19th, and you can join us at Crypto Vegas and Anarcho Vegas in Las Vegas, and it should be a fun event. Let's go to JB calling in from Tennessee. JB, you're on Free Talk Live. JB, can you hear me now?
Yes.
What's on your mind?
Well, I'll give you this. You let me on the air. I'm in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and we used to have a guy on the radio at this time slot. It was some sports guy. You know, I used to think of myself as a libertarian, left, almost borderline anarchist till I heard you guys. Now, I've owned a business. I've owned and operated a business for 45 years, and you're totally clueless.
Okay.
All of you.
All right.
Now, you have
what is it about?
Clue. What?
What is about what?
Most everything in general. I wish you'd leave my radio station, 102.3 in Chattanooga, Tennessee. If you can just go, you just do nothing but make me mad. You know?
But yet you still keep listening.
That's only because I listen to Rush Limbaugh at 6:03 in the morning.
Okay, so physics does not dictate that you listen to FTL if you listen to Rush Limbaugh.
Well, you guys, have you ever owned a business?
I own Free Talk Live. I mean, it's a radio show.
You own more than I do, but you've never run a business.
Well,
you never made a payroll, have you?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yes.
You denigrate our president. You run down our country.
We're talking about Trump. Okay.
No apparent reason.
Did I just get off?
Okay, you said you considered yourself a borderline anarchist before, and your problem with us is that we don't like countries.
No, I'm not saying. Listen to me.
I'm listening.
I have a problem with government interference with my business.
Same here.
Yeah, we're pretty against regulation on this show.
All agreed.
Yeah. But some of the things, 3 months ago, you guys were talking about people that own businesses and have no right to businesses. I turn you on because I come in at 6 or 7 o'clock at night. I
don't think anybody ever said that on this show. What are you talking about?
I'm not talking about. Well,
I couldn't. I can't address.
Listen to yourself?
JB, I can't address what happened 3 months ago because I don't know specifically what you're talking about, but it doesn't sound... I mean, I think that you should be able to open the business to do whatever business you want to do, and you'll either be successful or you'll fail, and the marketplace will decide that. It would generally be my opinion on business.
45 years, I've been pretty successful.
Excellent. You shan't have me besmirch your serving your customers.
When you denigrate people that work for a living, you...
Are we talking about Trump now?
What?
Are we talking about Trump?
You'd said denigrate in you'd said denigrate earlier about the president, so we were just checking if that was the same.
Well, you do denigrate Trump, and you do denigrate his supporters, and I am one. He wasn't my first choice, but you know what? He's the only choice.
Did I not just hold on, JB? That kind of partisan bullcrap is the kind of thing that gets me really upset. Look, I just went on the air and I said I like Trump because he is the America's CEO and he bombs fewer people in foreign countries. Like, that is literally what I just finished saying. And
I heard you.
Yeah, and then
I heard you. And you said it with tongue in cheek.
What?
You said it tongue in cheek.
You don't know what I'm thinking. That's the reason I like Trump. I think he's a better peace candidate. I'm terrified that Joe Biden's demented butt is going to get us into a war with Russia over nothing. That literally is the reason that I prefer Trump over the two. If you put a gun to my head, I would pick Trump over Biden. Mind you, I will not be voting for him because I don't vote for people that drop bombs on people, and Trump has done that. But I will vote for Joe Jorgensen.
Trump has dropped bombs on people that hate the USA.
I don't really care how they feel about the government of America.
Yeah, that's not like a good reason. You don't just get to kill people who hate your organization.
Listen, I'm going to kill your ass if you kill me. Try to kill me.
Yeah, there's
well, you said that's different than hate.
There's no terrorists coming after you in Tennessee.
There's nothing about hate. There's no
You
hate
said
to
he
it.
only drops bombs on people who hate the USA as if that was a justification. That is an incredibly low standard.
Justification for me.
Yet bombs don't know.
For me.
7-year-olds don't hate America. Okay, they're just the children.
They're in the car with their father that hates America and he's trying to kill us. That's good enough.
That is a horrifying opinion.
True.
Well, that's your opinion.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's your opinion. That's your opinion.
Okay, I see. It's my opinion that your opinion is horrifying. Yes,
is a pretty indefensible position, regardless. Bombing 7-year-olds because they hate something.
You hate me on your radio.
That is. Let me tell you something. That is you have made an argument there that's not indefensible. You're saying that because the 7-year-old's father hates America, that somehow collateral damage is going to take care of the 7-year-old. That's not right. If we kill the father and the 7-year-old's in the way, I hate that, but that's not right.
I don't know which fathers hate America and which ones don't, and the idea that the government kills people without trials is a real problem. And the reason the government has to kill people, the state has to kill people without trials, is because the United States is often everybody's business in 1,000 military bases in 150 countries. That's not what George Washington imagined.
Listen, let me ask you this.
Yeah?
Who was going to bring 25,000 troops home from Germany this week?
I thought that was 5,000.
Did, because talking about what you're going to do isn't really...
What?
I didn't see 25,000. I thought that was like 8,000.
Germany, 25,000 troops coming home. Let me tell you something about George Washington. You may know a little bit about him. I know a lot about him.
Excellent.
Okay.
Do tell.
Okay. Well, you know what the punishment for crimes against the crown were?
Yeah, they're going to hang separately.
You know what? No. Let me tell you about it. They're going to drag him on horseback, behind a horse. Drag them to their hanging place. They're going to hang them. They're going to cut them down before they die. They're going to disembowel them. They're going to burn their intestines before they cut their heads off. And after that, they're going to chop off their arms and legs and bury them in separate places.
Yeah, you're dead pretty early in that process, so it kind of doesn't matter what happens after that.
And he still said that we shouldn't be caught in entangling alliances in Europe. So I presume he just means the rest of the world. Or went. Thank you for the call, though, JB. Do appreciate it. 855-450-3733.
Dehibo Tea Club's original pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on, so it naturally has antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-infection, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. But maybe more importantly, Dehibo Tea Club's original pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea builds corpuscles in the blood, which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer happens to die in oxygen. The tea is great for healthy people and can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. Dehibo Tea Club's original pure Pau d'Arco Super Tea is only $34.95 plus shipping. Order now at shopsupertea.com or call 818-984-6100. That's shopsupertea.com or call 818-984-6100. Shopsupertea.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite. Extendovite really works. Here are some reviews from Amazon.com. Nick, great product. Have to try it for a few months to see results. After taking Extendovite for about 6 months, I have noticed improvement on the numbness of my hands and wrists from carpal tunnel. I will continue to buy the product. Ken Peaks, 5 out of 5 stars. Works as advertised. This formula is very powerful. Be careful to follow directions. I am feeling much better. My heart rate and blood pressure has stabilized and my lower edema has reduced. Lower leg pain due to blood clots has disappeared. Thank you. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit our website at heartdrop.com. Extend your life with Extendovite.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live listen line, 641-793-0191.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
Talk Live, call in and talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
Peakless Mountaineer.
And Melanie.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. I want to tell you about Intercoin. This is a company we've recently partnered up with here on Free Talk Live, and I couldn't be more happy about it. Today, large corporations act as middlemen for our everyday online communications and transactions, and often they work hand in hand with governments. In the last few years, these centralized social networks have all launched payment networks. Bitcoin and Ethereum have not been scalable enough to compete. The team behind Intercoin spent the last decade creating an open web-based decentralized social platform to rival Facebook and Google, and now they can use it to roll out a revolutionary payment platform on top. If decentralized crypto doesn't soon gain mainstream adoption to power everyday payments, it'll be Facebook and WeChat's world, and we'll just live in it. Intercoin is attempting to regain some of the freedoms that are threatened in the internet today and in the real world, and we think that's really important here on Free Talk Live, and so important that we accepted $40,000 worth of Intercoin tokens from Intercoin Inc. for advertising. If you think that freedom is important too, check out Intercoin at intercoin.org. You can invest in this project, and if you looked earlier and found that the investment brackets were too high, look again at intercoin.org, because they have made it possible now for the little guys to get involved. And you could make big gains. Or you could just be involved and perhaps shape the future over there at intercoin.org. You don't have to have money to be involved, but I think that this is it's a very exciting technology. Will it change the world? Well, I can only hope. Let's go to the phones. We've got Phil calling in from North Carolina. Phil, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, hi there, guys. Thank you for taking my call there. I just want to make this short and sweet. I just want to say a little something. Barack Obama is an illegal alien. We all know it, and I don't hear enough people talking about it.
Well, does it matter now? I mean, he was president for 8 years. He's
an illegal alien. Where was he born? Hawaii, was it?
That's the claim. He did show a certificate of live birth.
He's not even in America. It
did kind of get annexed.
And I don't hear. I'm on the radio. Be quiet. I'm on the phone.
Do better than that, y'all. That was weak.
Do you think that's a disparagement against just sort of country folks generally? You know, like they're dumb and they don't know geography? I don't know. Anyway, let's go to Crichton calling in from Kentucky. Crichton, you're on Free Talk Live.
You get all kinds, don't you?
Yes, we do. That's open lines phones, you know.
Aliens from Hawaii.
I wanted to revisit a little topic that Mark, my spirit host, brought up last night about how the masks have actually increased our freedom in America.
Yeah, Ian didn't like that one.
Well, they never do, but it's a reality, because I was thinking about it, and I realized, yes, you're right, that back in February, when it was cold, I would wear a scarf across my face, but if I walked into even a convenience store, a grocery store, I'd have to immediately remove that mask so that my face below my nose was visible to the camera.
Well, yeah, because it looks like you're about to rob the place. Because
Yeah,
it's not
they get
10
freaky.
below inside.
But but the point is that at least 20 years, cash has not been anonymous. Because if they really wanted to, they could find out exactly who you were because of all the digital cameras that have existed in every store in America, every bank. And because of the mask, I can walk into my bank, like you said yesterday, I can walk into a bank wearing a mask, which would have gotten me shot in February.
Yeah, I don't think it would have gotten you shot. It might have gotten you kicked out.
Yeah, I think
if we're talking about like a
it
branch
would've
and
gotten
not
me
like
shot.
the Federal Reserve.
Oh, you don't know where I live. I guarantee you that walking into a bank in February wearing a full face covering would have been dangerous to my health.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Where I
that's
live.
fair. I
Like a
am
ski
making some
mask?
assumptions about where you are, and that's fair.
So when I think about this is, I mean, what makes sense is we currently have cameras on the side of the interstate and cop cars that are worked into a system that is constantly checking all the license plates that go by. Now, the police officers can't. They can't write that down and then find out who goes where. But computers can place on maps where a given, car is going at a given time. And pretty soon they've got patterns and they know what you're doing and where you're going. When you can
It's
couple
worse than that.
Yep. And then you couple that to the facial recognition software, and now you know where they are when they're on foot too. And if now I don't know whether this is true, but think about how many cameras are in America. Let's say that the people who work for the government have access to half of them. Oh my God. If they can get everybody's face at that point, they've got all your patterns down. I mean, this whole minority
I don't think
report,
they need your face. Like, I think they might just be testing if they can how well they can track people without your full face. They can definitely track you without your full face.
certainly without
The
the full
eyes
face.
are not enough.
Maybe I'm just ignorant on
China
this,
has-
but who's getting arrested for having a bandana over their face?
Well, not yet.
I mean,
but that's
before
not
all
the
of
point.
this started. Like before all of this started, I mean, you could have a bandana over your face and walk down the street, and no one's going to be upset.
Down
by
the
it.
street. Yeah. Down
Okay.
the street. But as
Driving,
soon as you try to
walking.
engage in any kind of interaction, any kind of business interaction, you're on camera.
If they're used to getting robbed, then yeah, they will want to see your face.
But not now.
Even if they're not used to getting robbed.
Well, I think that presents a very interesting opportunity for people who like robbing places.
Well, one wonders whether armed robbery is going to go up, because right now in America, in many places in America, you can both carry a gun and wear a mask into pretty much any business in America, and it's fascinating to me. This is just a fascinating social experiment here in New Hampshire, where we have constitutional carry. You can walk into a bank with a concealed carry firearm and a mask over your face, and I mean, just do transactions. It's so strange, and I guess that I'm going to call that a freedom that we didn't have before. So, anyway, Creighton, thank you for the call. Let's go to Dylan calling in from Florida. Dylan, you're on Free Talk Live.
Thank you for taking my call. I wanted to make a quick little response to I believe the second to last caller who said something about Barack Obama.
The crank caller?
I wouldn't even know if it's like a crank or not, because I'm sure there's people out there that would. It's true, I swear. He's an illegal alien. I'm on the phone.
The line between satire and reality gets thinner and thinner every day, I tell you.
I'm on the phone. What is that? Is that
I mean, crank calls are not a new concept. Y'all just suck at it.
Yeah, there's what is it? The Jerky Boys. Go listen to this stuff. It is absolute genius.
I mean, there are entire channels that are decades old that are dedicated to doing nothing but crank calls.
Yeah. And look, I like a good crank, and I don't think those are the worst cranks that we've ever had on Free
Well,
Talk
no,
Live.
but that's not saying a whole lot.
No, it's not. So, yeah, I was just thinking during the break there how difficult it is being a libertarian talk show host, because when the president's a Republican, everybody calls you a liberal, and when the president's a Democrat, everybody calls you a conservative. And, critiquing the most powerful office in the land isn't a personal affront. Really, I get it. Come November, is it 5th, 4th, 3rd this year? I don't know. The first Tuesday in November, whatever the date might be. Come that day, you're going to make a decision. Or you're not. You're just not going to. Half of the nation's not even going to bother voting. But many of us will make a decision as to which crooked old pervert they would prefer to have. Now, personally, I'm not going to make that decision unless they do one of the things that, forces me to abide by my word and vote for one of them. And I've said here on the air that I would do so. But I'm going to vote for George Jorgensen, the libertarian for president, because, well, not a crooked old pervert. Good enough for me. Free Talk Live.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now's your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,726, silver at $17.54, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,400. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, last week in Missouri, a 25-year-old woman named Hannah Pfizer was shot and killed by an officer with the Pettis County Sheriff's Office during a routine traffic stop. Pfizer was reportedly pulled over because she was speeding and passed through a red light. The officer, who has not been named, claimed that she threatened to shoot him, but no gun was found in the vehicle. The Missouri State Highway Patrol is now working the case, claiming to be an impartial outside agency. In an initial statement from the Highway Patrol, they referred to Pfizer as a suspect instead of a victim, and accused her of threatening to shoot the deputy. However, she did not actually have a gun on her, and there is no footage from a dash cam or body cam that would corroborate the officer's story. Family and friends say she was on her way to work, and that she was a friendly person who never carried weapons. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. In a seeming reversal on Facebook's position that it would not remove political speech, the social media giant removed 88 ads on Thursday, posted by the accounts of President Donald Trump, Vice President Mike Pence, and the Trump campaign, on the grounds that they violated company policies against organized hate. The identical ads went after leftists and so-called Antifa, or anti-fascist groups, that prominently featured an inverted red triangle outlined in black, a symbol that Nazi German authorities used during World War II to identify political dissenters who were incarcerated in concentration camps. Other versions of the ad that are visible in Facebook's ad library use identical language and alternative clip art, such as exclamation points and stop signs. In a statement, Trump campaign spokesperson Tim Murtaugh defended the use of the Nazi symbol by claiming that it's an emoji that's widely used by activists opposed to fascism. The Vallejo Police Department was warned by rushing to purchase a cell site simulator without first crafting a use policy. The agency sidestepped its legal duty to transparency. Now, Oakland Privacy has filed a first-of-its-kind suit to ensure the public has a say in how such controversial surveillance technology is deployed in their communities. Activist Post reports that cell site simulators are devices that police use to gather information from cell phones, typically to locate, identify, and track people. Also known as IMSI catchers, the devices pretend to be cell phone towers in order to trick phones into connecting to them. The technology is so controversial that in 2015, the California legislature stepped in and passed Senate Bill 741, a law that ensures a police department cannot acquire cell site simulator usage without a city council first approving a detailed policy. In mid-March, amid COVID-19 shelter-in-place orders, the Vallejo City Council approved a $766,000 purchase of a cell site simulator manufactured by KeyW. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
After a flood of customer complaints, Kay Jewelers issued an immediate recall this week of over 2 million cursed engagement and wedding rings. The company's director of public relations released an apology to those afflicted.
I can assure our customers that we were not aware our manufacturers were sourcing diamonds tainted by the darkling Urla. We're strongly recommending customers who have not yet returned their purchases for a full refund to place a mirror in a bowl of black salt, mold a poppet in your image out of clay and your lover's hair, and then burn the poppet in the mirror before the next full moon.
Industry experts are calling this the most egregious safety oversight in jewelry production since 1973, when Zales disturbed the grave of the 16th century sorcerer Maelor.
Sometimes I wake up and I'm trapped in this oil painting of a German village.
They told us that there was a 68% chance that our child would be born with no soul. They sent us this disclaimer suggesting we leave the changeling in the wood and return only at our own peril.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. You can call and talk about whatever you want to talk about. That's why we call it Free Talk Live. It's Mark with you.
Peakless Mountaineer.
And Melanie.
The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. And we call it Free Talk Live because, well, we open up the phone lines and allow you to call in and talk about whatever you want, so long as you aren't James in Arizona. Let's go back to the story, who, by the way, is on the line here waiting, and he's going to wait. We were talking about deaths of despair. This whole COVID-19 thing has turned America upside down, and it's obvious that the results are not going to necessarily be good. You drive people who are on the verge of suicide, on the verge of spousal abuse, on the verge of alcoholism, on the verge of unhealthy lifestyles. You drive them into their homes, make it so they're not allowed to talk to the people they love except through Zoom meetings. And some of them are going to fall off the edge, and it's not going to be pretty. Now, Peakless Mountaineer, your claim was that it was something like, on average, 75,000?
75,000 people are expected to die. That's the median estimate.
Prediction, yeah.
Yeah, anywhere between 28,000 and over 150,000 are expected to die from deaths of despair. And one thing I wanted to bring up with that to sort of tie it back into the Father's Day narrative, one of the facts that you'll find out is that there's a really large risk of men in particular dying when they have no occupation. For example, men retiring, that's one of the big issues for if you run an insurance company, is that they're more likely to die.
Yeah, once they retire, they're more likely to die.
Exactly. You don't have purpose, so for whatever reason, you just kind of shut down at that point.
I actually had a fire call where I went to a man's house who was, too infirm to work. He had been working up until about 9 months before that. And he was telling, it wasn't me, the fire chief was the one dealing with him, and a better man to deal with it. I am no first aid giver. You want me to direct traffic around an accident? Fine. You want me to hold a hose on a fire or even go into a burning building? Excellent choice. Dealing with people who have illnesses, I'm not your guy. But nonetheless, I was there and I was taking notes on the pad that I'm supposed to take notes on, and it was a really sad thing. This guy was like 84, and he had, according to him, worked every day of his life since he was 12 years old. This is what he wanted to spend the time talking to the firefighters about. The guys who came to his house to deal with him, he was having some kind of medical episode. He wanted to talk about having worked from the time he was 12 to the time that he was presumably 83. And now for the last 9 months, he hasn't been able to work, and he wants to die, is what he said. And I presume he did. This has been a few years ago. And I think that that's pretty indicative for males. I mean, just kind of the thing they do.
Well, I mean, like we were talking about the difference in role of male and female parents, and one way or the other, like archetypically or just cliche, the expected role of the male is a protector and provider, among other things. And if you can't provide, well, that takes away your reason for being. So at least from that side of it, there's a whole bunch of people that have no ability to provide themselves. So all of the providing is done by the surrogate parent of the government.
Yeah, that is so. So is the COVID-19 is more likely to kill men, and apparently the resultant lockdown is more likely to kill men too.
Well, a life without purpose is a life without meaning.
So, can you tell me a bit more about these predictions at 75,000 people? Where's this come from?
Well, part of it was based on the increase in rate from the 2018. Let's see here, which was the rate of 55.5 per 100,000 people. They also have a list of things that are expected to help out with this, and the first one on it is get people working.
Yeah, that's a good thing. One of the ways to get people working is not giving them so much unemployment that they would rather be unemployed than work. But I think that's coming to an end in July anyway, so I don't think it's going to be a problem.
More importantly, to not make their jobs illegal or to not regulate them so much on an alleged temporary basis that it's not profitable to either them as the business owner or their boss.
Well, and one of the big issues that when you take away someone's work, I mean, their whole schedule goes completely out of whack. I mean, you have this set hours that you work, and you will arrange your life around it. So if you take the core out of the scheduling of your entire life, what do you expect to happen? So the first thing that goes off is that you've got no sleep schedule, or at least no mandatory sleep schedule.
Yeah, that's bad.
And
right, when you don't have to get up to be at work at a certain time, even if you have to be at work at a Zoom meeting at a certain time, it's still, the commute, the getting ready, and all those other things are knocked back, so you're still more likely to stay up later. I can tell you that, it isn't good during the winter for me when my wife is gone and I just don't have those normal real life things that make me have to go to bed at a certain time and because I have to get up at a certain time. And it tends to push it back farther and farther. I've gotten better at dealing with it, but there were times when it wasn't so great. And I tend to think that, people are making bad choices around alcohol. That isn't going to go well. It just doesn't. People are making bad choices around bedtimes. I'm sorry, it causes depression.
That's a fact.
It
causes depression. It causes systemic inflammation. It turns out it doesn't really matter that much when your bedtime is, but it does matter very much that it's the same time.
I think that there are people that are able to sort of work through the night. I've met a few of them, and they're fascinating to me. But Homo sapien is a diurnal creature.
And a social creature. And that's the second thing they list on here, is that a lot of it's about social isolation. I mean, people die when they're alone. I mean, if you take newborns and you do not look them in the face, they die. That's just what happens to tiny humans if you don't give them social interaction. Now, we can survive it because
if they do survive, they're going to go out and kill people later anyway.
There is that. Now, we can survive not having someone look us in the face because we just have enough cells to deal with that. But humans are such social creatures that if you take that away from them, we fall apart completely.
Yeah, I think that this is one of the downsides of the masks out there is that, and by the way, I have no idea what it's like to be by yourself during COVID-19. I haven't been for one minute. I mean, other than, I guess, minute, but not for a few hours, not for more than a few hours. I mean, I go down to my office to get some work done. I guess I'm alone in my office, but there's not a day that has gone by when I didn't have somebody living in the same house with me during this whole COVID-19 thing. But a lot of people, it's a status symbol to be able to live on your own. And then this happens, and they're locked in these giant filing cabinets of people in cities, and they just don't have much interaction. And the news is just constantly spitting out these stories that are confusing and contradictory, and you don't know what to believe and what not to believe. Is it okay to go and sit within 6 feet of somebody outdoors or not? Is it okay to sit more than 6 feet from somebody outdoors in the park or not? Is it acceptable to be indoors with a mask on within and all day long with a room full of people? I don't know. I don't know any of this stuff. I couldn't tell you. I sort of rely on the people, the people who have degrees in these sorts of things, and they don't seem to agree.
And that was one of the issues on this, is the uncertainty is one of the things that is killing people from this.
Yeah. People like certainty. Here's something in these uncertain times. They've always been uncertain times. Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE. The monetary evolution comes to Las Vegas. Crypto Vegas is a one-day event featuring some of the brightest and most innovative minds in blockchain technology. Juan Galt, Anastasia Sergeyevna, Lynn Ulbrich, Jim Bell, Elise Sam, Float CEO Kingsley Edwards, and more. Tickets start at $20.20, and you can save 10% on VIP tickets using code FTL at CryptoVegasConference.com. July 18th, join Free Talk Live at CryptoVegasConference.com.
When we adopted Buddy, we didn't know that she has to eat sitting up. So that said, just put him down. DINOVITE.com. I heard about Dynamite and started mixing it in with his food. He's happy, he's healthy, and he's going to be with me for a long time because of Dynamite. I love my dog. I want him happy and healthy, so I give him Dynamite.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dynamite from DINOVITE.com.
Got shaving irritation? Shave Secret shaving oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hair, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts? Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils plus a hint of menthol was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine Exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. Use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
Peakless Mountaineer.
And Melanie.
Want to tell you about Divvy? Divvy is one of those cryptocurrencies that you've been hearing about, but this one is made so easy that anybody can do it. It's supposed to be their wallet they're making. It's going to be so easy that your grandmother can use it. And not just that, but you can actually make Divvy. You can earn Divvy for yourself by getting involved in their multi-tiered masternode system. And Free Talk Live has done this, and it's been very successful for us. So go check out diviproject.org. That's DIVI project.org. And Divi has, it's shot up in value in the last few weeks, and I presume it's still that stay there. I haven't looked at anything in the last few days, but get one of those master nodes, and you're going to make some money. Divi Project, DIVI, diviproject.org. Let's go to Andrew calling in from Ohio. Andrew, you're on Free Talk Live.
Thank you so much for taking my call. Yeah, I want to talk about, since we're libertarians, I want to talk about these Democrat voters imitating the politicians that represent them. In 2016, there was a 26-hour sit-in, if you remember, by the goofy Democrats in Congress.
I don't, but I'll believe
you. It was
you.
over the Orlando nightclub shooting, and I was reading a article, because the Democrats always want more gun control, and the guy that killed, I think it was over 50 people at the gay nightclub, he was going to target Disney Springs or Disney World, but because of the large amount of police presence, there is security, armed security everywhere at Disney World. So he targeted the gay nightclub because he was looking for the most vulnerable gun-free zone. So he found the gay nightclub, and I don't understand why liberals don't understand this basic concept that mass shooters are looking for gun-free zones. They're going to violate the gun. I don't understand.
They might actually understand that, and they just know that it's a power grab. That's all. That's kind of a
Democratic voters are Democratic politicians. Because if you're a Democratic politician, then yeah, you probably know that. If you're a Democratic voter, then you might not think about that.
Democratic voters, though, also talk about fighting the revolution, and I always ask them how they're intend to do that without guns, and I've never gotten a great answer.
Yeah, and obviously you're just talking about percentages here. Democrats as a group tend to be sort of anti-gun, but I have to be sort of the same way. I mean, Democrats want armed people to go around and take arms from armed people. This doesn't make any sense. But I did have a conversation one time. I was at a convention. It was a sales convention, not a libertarian convention. And I found myself the guy was asking about my radio program. I told him it was a libertarian radio program. He knew what that meant, which isn't always the case. This has been probably a decade. So the word libertarian, maybe it didn't have the penetration that it did. And he wanted to talk about guns. He was from California. He was in Las Vegas, and he wanted to talk about guns. And he said he was scared of these people having guns. Now, I'm not sure who these people were. It was just sort of a ambiguous statement. And I can understand there are lots of people in the world that I would prefer not to have guns. But, I told him, you're in Nevada where it's an open, you can have, anybody can have a gun around here. There could be guns right in here, right. In fact, there are guns in this room right now. And he's like, yeah, and I'm scared of it. And I don't know how to address fear as far as this goes. I don't fear. I'm in New Hampshire, and y'all probably have guns on you. I never think about it. I'm never concerned that I might be shot by one of my friends who have guns. And the idea that you're going to walk around in fear that anybody who's got a shirt that's untucked is sporting a piece and gonna shoot you just doesn't make any sense to me. It's tragic when these things happen, but these things are going to happen in a society where people have guns. I mean, it's just there's more guns, there's going to be more gun crime, and that's the way that is. And I get that liberals want to diminish that, but they probably won't be successful. There are 2 guns for every American right now. And the idea that we're going to somehow make that go away, this isn't England, this isn't Australia. These aren't islands, and you can't control this situation.
And I don't know how much you can control it on islands anymore, since we have 3D printers that can make... I mean, they're not as high quality yet, but if they needed to be, we'd probably get there fairly quickly.
Pretty soon you will be able to 3D print. I think you can.
No, you can 3D print a gun. You just can't 3D print a high quality gun, as far as I know.
You can use you can get a piece of aluminum and cut it with a mini CNC machine and make a gun. And you can make one that works pretty well. And that's, another issue. I think it's also worth mentioning that concealed carry permit holders are remarkably safe people. They are, in fact, a tenth as likely to commit a crime as a police officer who are, and remember, police officers probably don't get convicted of all the crimes they do because, I don't know, I've seen them roll through street signs, through stop signs. It's
more the murder than the running a stop sign that I'm worried about.
Not my concern. I'm just saying that I'm guessing that they have a professional relationship with those who might arrest you for that. But police officers are 100th as likely to be convicted of a felony as a regular person. So therefore, you have the concealed carry permit holders at 1,000th of the rate of a normal person. So I'm pretty confident that those people are fine.
Well, I think the biggest problem is what can you simplify a person to? Now, when you have a police officer, you can, in your mind, simplify them to they will follow the law, they will follow the police code of conduct, so on and so forth. It might not be an accurate picture, but you're able to simplify them. Now, if it's just a random person, you have nothing in your head that you can simplify them down to. You don't know what they're capable of.
And if there's only one person, like if somehow it's a rule of physics that only one person can have a gun, maybe that's a concern. But if enough people have guns, I mean, it's like nukes. If countries that have nukes don't tend to go to war with each other, if enough of people have guns, they'll quit doing what the personal version of war is and quit fighting it out in the streets and in the aisles because, yeah, they can shoot you, but they know you can shoot them, or, maybe 8 out of 10 people can, or whatever the case is.
Well, and
let's give Andrew a chance to jump in here. Andrew?
Yeah, well, the thing about Democrats, I don't think there's any way to convince these people about freedom. Like, just in 2017, remember at that California college, Ann Coulter and that Milo Yiannopoulos.
Yep.
They canceled both of their things. They broke windows. They started throwing you can't even anything that challenges their ideology.
I don't know if I would call those people Democrats. I would call those radical leftists. But nonetheless, Andrew, here's the challenge I'm giving everybody today. Say something that you agree with that the Democrats believe. No? Nothing? Well, I like the idea that the gay folks can get married now. I mean, if I can contract to live with somebody and share my life, then they should be able to, too. There you go. 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit divvyproject.org. divvyproject.org.
Are you making sense to the boomer mindset? I'm Holland Cook from survivalspeech.com. 80 million baby boomers comprise 25% of the population and control most of the USA's wealth. As aging parents pass on, they'll control more. Boomers are 46 to 65 years old and regard themselves as midlife. They identify as neither young nor old. They're post-minivan and pre-retirement, and they don't like being called boomers. They think me. Many of the purchases boomer couples make are individual purposes. They've been experimenters all their lives. If you want their attention, tell stories and keep it simple. If something seems complicated, boomers can dismiss it as, I don't need this. And if you're looking for work, you may be applying to a boomer, so relate accordingly. From survivalspeech.com, I'm Holland Cook.
Is oral health important to you? If you don't like your own teeth, fresh breath, or kissing people, then by all means stop listening. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I became passionate about the product that she created and never want to live without it. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I find it does much more. They want you to love My Magic Mud as much as I do, so they're giving you a money-back guarantee plus 20% off. Go to mymagicmud.com and use coupon code FTL20 at checkout. mymagicmud.com, FTL20.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
Free Talk Live.
Dear FTL, we've got chemtrail down here in West Virginia.
Be nice.
You've never seen them? Contrail disappear relatively quickly compared to the chemtrail.
If anybody's listening that wants to fight the chemtrails, there's things called
how are you gonna fight them? Wait a minute.
called
Big
cloudbusters.
Wadbusters?
I gotta give UFO hoaxers more credit. At least they go out and build a little saucer and they tie it to a
cardboard
string.
saucer.
And I'd love to see a semi-legitimate website reporting anything on this particular issue. I don't think
you're gonna get that.
I just asked semi-legitimate.
You want a doctor to say it? There's a bunch of
doctors. Just because you're a doctor doesn't mean you're an expert or smart.
Or it doesn't even mean you're a doctor.
Okay.
Okay, go on my website later on tonight and I'll be Dr. Manwich, okay?
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.LRN.FM for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.LRN.FM.
Talk Live. Call in, talk about, well, whatever you want. It's going to be the final segment of Free Talk Live. I have an interview with Dr. Ben Powell coming up here in the final segment about the national debt. We actually were talking about that earlier in the show, and he, an economist at Texas Tech, contends that the rise in the national debt is something that people should be concerned with, because nobody seems to be concerned with it right now. So that's coming. The number, 855-450-3733. Want to tell you about Bitcoin? Go to bitcoin.com. If you don't know anything about cryptocurrencies, it's the best place to start. And you go get the tab there. Click on the tab that says Getting Started. If you know lots about cryptocurrencies, go to news.bitcoin.com. Sign up for their their daily newsletter for the news about cryptocurrency, because they've got a great staff in their newsroom. It's news.bitcoin.com. Want to thank Arno Stackler, who is a gold amplifier. If you want to be an amplifier and you want to support what we do here on Free Talk Live, which is allow anyone to call in about anything, then go to amp.freetalklive.com. Oh, if you want to support what we do here and allow anyone but James in Arizona to call in and talk about anything, well, then go to amp.freetalklive.com. So it's amp.freetalklive.com. Let's go to Adam calling in from Pennsylvania. Adam, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, boys, I loved It's Mel on SNL. I didn't know LRN had a Sunday Night Live now, and it's back.
What's back?
Isn't it fitting that her friend's name is Bobby? Which one gave birth to their child?
Whose child? Bobby, friend, what?
It's Mel.
Yes.
What is that thing you're looking at right across from the table?
Oh, my goodness.
Right across from the
table? Is this James from Arizona? You little trickster.
Preachers that lie, die, and go to hell. and you should be shot in the head by a cop with a shiny badge and a very explosive gun.
That's
nice. You're a total
An explosive
POS,
gun, so that
and
would
you're
kill
going to do everything
that would
I
kill
said.
the shooter too.
Hey, you fat, ugly pig, shut your...
Oh, my gosh. Hey, be nice. Behave yourself. You represent the Catholic Church and the Republican Party very badly, James.
So edifying. I mean, you've really helped a lot of people today.
Let's go to David calling in from New Mexico. David, you're on Free Talk Live.
This boring call is for James.
Well, don't make it extra boring, please.
Okay, well, let me do my boring ad. KENN, beautiful FC New Mexico, home of the car dealerships that do not fulfill their obligations to their customers. So Father's Day, that's today, right?
That's today. So I've been told.
Yeah.
Somebody sent
Same
me
here.
a happy Father's Day text.
Huh. This the United States really doesn't exist anymore. If you look at what it was the day after it was a brand new country, and what it is today, it's not the same country at all. You couldn't argue that it's even the same country. It somehow we know how, but somewhere in that time frame from then till now, it was taken over. It's already gone. It's a matter of if you want it back, by people with money and power.
Okay.
All the shysters that all of us.
The evidence is pretty strong. So Princeton University, there was some study that came out that basically said the United States government more closely represents an oligarchy than it does a democracy.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a republic, for that matter. I mean,
yeah, it's just flat out gone. It doesn't even have to be discussed in any terms whatsoever anymore. It just does not exist. The United States, it just does not. And obviously, I got thinking about this because I haven't seen my kids in 12 years because they were trafficked by this country and done so illegally. And so and they just they destroyed my life on that level. They destroyed my life on in certain respects on a professional level, far lesser than that, and also on property levels. Was in court over a house that I owned that I ended up just walking away from rather than dealing with it. And so this country is just it's not what it was, and it's screwed me over. This is strike 3 for them, and it was the most significant. Oh, and I'm not alone. If anybody wants to go do an exercise, it'll take you 30 seconds. If you go on, for instance, Facebook is a good database to search. Go on there and search any term whatsoever that comes to your mind related to parents and children, and you'll immediately be able to find an endless list, and I mean literally thousands. You probably get to 10,000 before you start seeing the same names over again of people who their mission in life is the fact that their government has trafficked their children, and I mean trafficked. I mean the children went a certain direction away from that parent, whether they're a mom or a dad, and money went other directions. And so this is literal child trafficking, and you can find it in a second just by, like I said, whether you type, custody or whatever you want to type, just anything that you can think of, and you can immediately find thousands of people that are suffering from this.
I think it's difficult for me to justify in one's mind that you could make a person pay to take care of a child that you won't let them see. I'm not saying there's not extenuating circumstances out there where, somebody's so dangerous that they couldn't see their kids. However, if in those rare instances, it would seem to me, why would you want money from them? What's the point in going after money from somebody like that? I mean, if you're going to have a social safety net, shouldn't it be for the children of the people that are so dangerous that they can't see their parent?
Right, and there's a million variables. There's the mechanics of the trafficking are all the players in the court, the judge and the lawyers and the therapists, and there's a million variables, and they can manipulate those different variables. It's not just good or bad. There's a million different things they can manipulate to justify their decision. So what they do is, in fact, I was told that by a lawyer sitting in a courtroom. The government's own lawyer told me that, he just wanted to warn me. He said, generally these things don't go the way that normal people think they should. The judge, he just flat out said this. He said the judge decides ahead of time what he or she wants to happen, and then manipulates the variables to justify doing that. And it doesn't matter what facts are presented in court here. It does not matter. And he turned out to be correct, and the judge sided against me. I happen to have reversed that judge's decision on appeal, which is a pretty powerful document.
That's the definition of a show trial.
What happened when you reversed the decision? What happened? I mean, did you get to see the kids? I mean, the idea that you can't see your children is insane to me.
Yeah, well, you would think so, because the final, in a multi-page decision, 10, 12 pages, the last paragraph sums it up. And in the last paragraph, it says that basically it says, in a couple sentences that Judge M. Monica Zamora, you're wrong, and we're reversing your decision, and we are remanding this issue back to the Children's Court, and Judge John J. Romero Jr., you should act appropriately. Now that Mr. Olson has proved that the judge screwed him over. And that's the last that ever happened. And Judge John J. Romero Jr. never gave me any communication with my children after that, which would have been, quote unquote, the appropriate thing to do. So,
how long ago was the appeal?
Can't you make a motion?
Oh, that was many, many years ago. That was like 6, 7, 8 years ago now. And
You mentioned it not being what it was, and a republic if you can keep it.
Yeah, I mean, Father's Day isn't so happy for everybody. I just want people to remember there are those out there that are separated from their kids, and it's sad. Check us out at freetalklive.com. Sign up for the newsletter there. It's been Mark with you.
Peakless Mountaineer.
And Melanie.
With more people listening to radio than visit Google, Facebook, or YouTube, from the very young to the very old, everyone listens to radio. Pillow companies, alarm, identity theft, nutrition, insurance, banking, automotive. The list goes on and on. Billion-dollar businesses. Why? The answer is radio. The media everyone tunes into. Find out how effective and affordable radio can be for your business. Contact 877-996-4327 or advertise at gcnlive.com.
We all need to do our part.
And show the care.
Look, man.
I wear a mask to protect you.
You wear masks to protect me.
Let's all wear a mask to stop the spread of coronavirus and save lives.
Good reasons for the public and business owners to wear and offer face masks. But not just any mask. Cheap doesn't mean protection. Sunny-bay.com has the best value of high-quality N95 or disposable face masks anywhere. Get disposable level 1 face masks now, a 20-pack starting at only $12, or a 10-pack of N95 respirator masks is only $34. Plus, get free shipping on all orders over $35. Choose your level of protection at sunny-bay.com. Prices are low, but supplies are limited. Get details and order at sunny-bay.com, a Biomed DB design company. Go to sunny-bay.com for disposable or N95 face masks. Ask about volume discounts available for all businesses. Just click sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com.
Do the letters IRS give you anxiety? I'm Dan Pilla. I've defended people from the IRS for more than 40 years. My book, How to Get Tax Amnesty, created the tax resolution industry and is responsible for helping hundreds of thousands of people. It can help you too. If you're a non-filer or facing IRS enforcement right now, your case is unique. You need real help, not cookie-cutter advice. My clients get my personal attention. Buy my book at danpilla.com and get a free consultation directly with me. That's danpilla.com. Let's start solving your tax problem right now.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do?
Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Right, great to be in West Texas. Doing that.
In my opinion, one of the premier economists in the nation and world, and that's why people should listen to this particular conversation about national debt. But in order to cement this, you've been on television, radio many times with all kinds of different organizations having to do with your books. I believe the most recent one is an ode to alcoholism as you drink your way through the world and how that affects the economy.
It was a hell of a project. It was Socialism Sucks. Two economists drink their way through the unfree world. Kind of Anthony Bourdain meets Milton Friedman style book.
And it's glorious. I mean, just totally worth picking up over at Amazon. If you have not, if you haven't heard of this, take my recommendation. It is well worth the time and energy. Can you rattle off some other books for me so that, because this is the one that sticks in my mind, but again, probably not your most academic work.
Definitely not the most academic, but definitely the one where I combine my hobby and my economics the most. Out of Poverty, Sweatshops and the Global Economy is out, and the new one that I just finished, it's not released yet, is called Wretched Refuge, the Political Economy of Immigration and Institutions. Will you, kind of a mouthful. Socialism Sucks rolls off the tongue way easier.
Will you please contact me regarding that new book when it's out so that we can do an interview regarding that too?
Absolutely, first of the year.
And I would like my copy signed to my friend Mark Edge Ben Powell.
I'm happy to kill its resale value for you.
Thank you. So let's get into it. Something that I have talked about on the air a great deal. This is a cudgel of demagoguery, and I do not mind using it. I have some questions, and I'd like to ask those questions of an economist and do it in a wide-open forum so that people can know where I'm being a demagogue and where I'm actually talking about the truth. So when George Bush took office, the national debt was $5 trillion. When Obama took office 8 years later, the national debt was $10 trillion. These are round numbers. When Trump took office 8 years later, the national debt was $20 trillion. And I have predicted that the national debt will be, I'm guessing, $40 trillion. I'm willing to say over $30 trillion. At the end of 8 years, presuming, I don't know how things are going to go, whether Trump gets reelected or not. I wouldn't care to speculate. We are now at 26 trillion and climbing fast right now. The debt went up greatly during this COVID thing, and now people are talking about extra spending that's going to help people based on, whatever their economic status is, whatever the situation is. Spending is sky high. Debt is going up. How important is this?
I think it's hugely important, Mark. And you'll be surprised and maybe not pleased to know that Mark Edge and the International Monetary Fund agree. The latest prediction I saw out of the IMF was not by the end of 8 years of Trump potentially, but by the end of this year, they're forecasting that the debt to GDP ratio in the United States will be 131%. So 131% debt relative to the size of our economy. This is massive. I mean, just
a year ago, 2019, it was still bad, but 109%. Part of this, of course, is an economic contraction, but a lot of it's this explosive spending that we're seeing that really has little to do with the crisis, a whole bunch of it. And a lot of it's a bad idea anyway. But this is going to be a drag on our economy for years to come, if not a crisis.
So it is a big problem. Now, Milton Friedman said something to the effect that at least one quote I heard one time was basically like, debt, schmet. Who cares? It's not that big of a deal. Can you tell me the context of that quote, or if he's just wrong?
Well, it depends what the level of the debt was and what your overall economy looks like. And of course, Milton Friedman hasn't been with us for more than a decade, and you just talked about how those numbers exploded since then. But when you think about debt as a proportion of the economy, if the economy is growing strong, it's easier for the government to pay it back. When you're getting up to 131% of GDP, that's an awful lot to pay back and require an awful lot of growth. And while the economy was strong before this COVID crisis, I don't expect an immediate bounce back afterwards. I think it'd be really hard to grow at a rate that will trivialize this. Instead, what I think is scary is how the government might deal with it. I mean, we're looking at World War II levels of debt relative to the size of our economy. And after World War II, what we saw was levels of financial oppression in order to help manage the interest on it, where the Fed and the Treasury coordinate to soak up some of the government bonds, but also where they put regulations in that basically encourage or force private parties to own more government debt in order to help keep the interest rates down. And we could see them doing stuff like that. I don't think we'll see the type of inflation that would make it go away. I think to some extent, governments have learned a little bit of their lesson about inflation in the post-war years, but also just the way modern debt is handled and so much is indexed to inflation. It makes it a lot harder to simply inflate it away the way they did in the past.
Right. I mean, in World War II, they told people to buy war bonds, and then that was a loan to the United States government. They don't do that anymore. I haven't seen an ad for bonds in years and years and years, and it's because of the decoupling of the dollar from gold and silver. They don't need us to lend them money, but it also changes the whole landscape, making this completely unprecedented. These are unprecedented levels of debt in so much as the monetary system has changed dramatically since 1945, and we really can't say what this is going to do. It can't, but I got this. Here's my prediction. It ain't good.
I'm with you there that it ain't good. I mean, the options, right, when debt gets big, like either they have to drastically cut spending, drastically raise taxes, but honestly, eventually you're squeezing a rock here trying to get blood out of it, because if you raise tax levels to even higher rates, they don't get as much revenue as economic activity contracts. So I don't think you're going to see them be able to pay this off with tax increases. You hope that you can put in good deregulatory policies, some of which the current administration was doing prior to this crisis, that helps the economy grow faster, which grows your tax base and helps pay it off. But honestly, the political will from any party, either party, I don't think sees constraining spending as one of their goals.
I think that
this takes off a little bit. I think they'll just spend more money.
This seems like a problem with human nature. So the Keynesian economic theory, and Richard Nixon is quoted, back in 1970 or something like that, as having said, we're all Keynesians now, meaning I think that we're all Keynesians because the government is Keynesian now, and that's the economic policy they're following. However, they're not. I don't want to, besmirch old Maynard and his theory, because the United States government isn't even following that. The theory is that in times of plenty, the government contracts its spending and pulls back and pays debt and does all these things. In times of want, the government spends and spends and spends. Now, I can make all the argument in the world against the spending aspect of it, but let's leave that on the table for a second and just go for the contracting part. They don't do it. They don't see the economy as ever being
good enough to pay their debts. They're always expecting, they think that the spending thing can always work, and it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, prior to Keynes, so first of all, I'm not a Keynesian now, and I'm sure you're not either, Mark. But taking on
I'm a Powellian.
God, you're the one, huh?
Here I am.
What happened was what they call the old fiscal religion kind of a government balancing its budget over time went away with Keynesian economics. But when the politicians who say that they want to implement Keynesianism, you're absolutely right. They don't lower spending when times are good. It's a bad way to manage a macroeconomy anyway. But be that as it may, the political incentives never align to do that. The political incentives tell those in office now to spend now because it's popular, kick the payments down the road as much as you can, because you know what? You're not going to be the one who suffers the consequences later. And that's the type of reckless behavior we see out of both parties. It doesn't matter. Big government Bush, big government Obama, big spender Trump. They're all guilty of this. It's a more matter of which interest groups get the handouts rather than what the total spending is.
Do you have a solution for us? I mean, as outlandish as it seems that the United States government is going to listen to you or I, get a solution?
Well, in terms of the current situation, stop spending and trying to stimulate. You can't stimulate economy that you've ordered shut down. Instead, take your jackboot off our throats and allow people to go about normal economic activity and open up things in this country. That'll get you on a path started forward. It doesn't solve the debt problem that's been done, but it'll at least allow us to start recovering. Although COVID's still here and people are still going to have contracted economic activity even without government rules, so it's not going to be a real fast bounce back.
How can people find out more from you? Where do you put your blogs, all that good stuff?
The Free Market Institute at Texas Tech is fmi.ttu.edu, or you can Google Socialism Sucks and find it on Amazon, and that's a better way to hang out with me for a couple beers.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had got involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream for people to use it for everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that is as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,726, silver at $17.54, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,400. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD, at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals